I spent 30 years apologizing to a man that I never even met when I should have been challenging him. That man, that ghost, was a version of me that was perfect, disciplined, incredibly wealthy, and always in complete control. I made him my idol, and every time that I didn't measure up to him, which was often, I felt that I owed him an apology. If you've ever felt like you don't measure up to some person you thought you should be, well, this story of mine might just help. I was apologizing for choosing coaching over a career, for choosing presence over profit, and even for choosing family over some idealized future. And I felt like a failure because I wasn't becoming that guy, that one in a million that the ghost promised me was my destiny. But he didn't see my heart. He only saw ambition. And playing on that ambition, he had me hooked. And throughout my 30s, 40s, and 50s, he kept showing up and convincing me that I could still become that guy. And amazingly, I never figured this out. I never realized that that ghost wasn't me at all until I was about 60. I made a video recently about this. I'll put the link above at the end of the video. And my trying to justify this idol addiction I had led me to the point of spending tens of thousands of dollars on gurus just to prove that my choice was justified. But as I look back now, it's clear that even as I tried to maintain my relationship with the ghost, the hooks that he had in me were beginning to loosen. A bit of reality was trying to get my attention. Then, at age 60, something happened that I just couldn't ignore. And it was the start of a decade-long battle, an argument that I was having with myself as I tried to defeat that ghost. Here's my story. I sat in the audience of a university ceremony as my son was being honored for his athletic achievements. And in his acceptance speech, he credited me for his success. He was saying that my choosing presence over my personal ambitions shaped his life. As I sat there, listening to him, something cracked open. And I thought, if I was such a failure, if I had wasted all those years like my ghost had insisted that I had, why was my son standing there crediting me for his successes? And it hit me. Those years couldn't have been a mistake. I hadn't really failed, had I? Maybe it was just a different version, a different definition, a better definition of success. Still, though, letting go of the belief that I should have become that guy wasn't easy. I'd look back at all those failures, all the business opportunities that I passed on, all the promotions that I turned down, the late nights I spent on basketball courts instead of networking events. And I remembered all the times that the ghost insisted that I was not living up to my potential. And once again, I'd wonder, well, maybe there's still time. But after that speech, I began to argue back. Was it really a waste? Or did I build something that you simply can't measure on a resume? Let me ask you, Naturally, your story would be different, but I'd be willing to bet that you've had similar arguments with your alter ego. Or maybe a portion of you or a part of you that questions the choices that you've made. Have you done that? Or maybe you're in the middle of that right now. Let me know in the comments. As for me, it took years, a full decade of looking back and re-examining every choice that I made. And there was a part of me that still wanted that ghost to be right, because if I admitted that he was wrong, it would be admitting that I wasted 30 years apologizing for nothing. Look, I'm not against striving or wanting to improve, but I realized that my lack of progress wasn't about a lack of ability or laziness. It was just me realizing that my values were different. And what I came to realize during the debates of my 60s was this: I valued other goals and pursuits far more than I valued money or physical accomplishments or recognition. That speech at that ceremony helped me to appreciate the choices that I made to coach my kids, to take a year off work and travel with my son, to stay close to home during my daughter's teenage years. And finally, I saw that my alter ego was full of it. He was just a composite of everyone else's definition of making it. It wasn't the real me after all, and it never would be. And I finally realized that my choosing presence over prestige wasn't a character flaw, and that the gurus that my ghost sent me didn't have my best interests at heart. They couldn't have. I hadn't lacked ambition or determination. I just valued different things. And it turns out those things may have led to my son becoming a head university basketball coach, shaping the lives and the futures of many young men over the past few years. By my 70s, well, I was done. I was done apologizing, and now done arguing. The ghost had lost, because I finally understood that he was never me. The ghost promised plaques on the wall. What I got instead were great stories, and I'll take those stories. If this stirred something in you, I'd love to hear. Oh, and don't forget to check out the video that I mentioned earlier. The link is above. Give it a look. Oh, and if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss other videos in this series. I'll see you around.